welcome to everybody. Super welcome to everyone. Again, for those that I met for the first time at the Traders Conference, this weekend it was tons of fun to meet all of you guys and to get to just chat with some traders and get some good stuff covered. So that was really cool, and we had a good time there for sure. And Bo, no, I'm just barely back from the airport like 30 seconds ago, literally, which is why we're just all kinds of late today. But all very good stuff. It was a wonderful weekend. Met some great people, had some fun times. Just went super well. So for anybody that's on for the first time, this is the dog suffered. The dog did suffer, Bo, and that's for sure. This is our Monday webinar, guys. For anybody that's here on for the first time, basically what we do is just talk about some of the things that I'm looking for coming or going into the new week, all the things that I want to be trading this week, and I think we have some really good things to cover. So this is kind of my watch list. These are a few things I look for, at least to start the week off. We definitely add to this stuff as we go throughout the week, and we have multiple trading, live trading sessions every day, actually, in the trade group. And so if you'd like a little bit more information on that stuff, you can get a free trial. We'd love to have you join us for a little bit of free trial action. Go to daytradersfx.com/join, and we'd love to have you try us out for a week. Give us a little test drive. Hey, Jose, nice to see you, and very welcome to everybody. Okay, so this week we've got a lot of news and a lot of crazy things happening. FOMC meeting minutes are, always a decent big deal. So that's going to be something big on the calendar. We've got lots of news beforehand, Canadian and U.S. and Euro news all coming through, and so that'll be exciting. We've got monetary policy meeting minutes coming for Australia later on today. We'll have some live news trading events this week as well. And then Friday we've got all speeches from everyone coming, Carney and Draghi and Bank of Japan and Yellen. Everyone's just chatting on Friday, so that might get exciting. We'll see how that works out. But there's a good little there's a decent amount of news this week. We'll see if the yen pairs get scooting with the Bank of Japan press conference, and there's just some there's stuff. So it should be a pretty exciting week of news, and we'll dive into all of that. There are kind of only a few pairs that I'm interested in to start the week off. And then I'll be adding to this. I'll send out some charts and kind of share them with everyone and make sure that you guys get some good information. But to start the week off, I'm very super interested in Euro pairs. I think we've got some fantastic opportunities with Euro pairs coming at the beginning of this week, and I'm sure some things will morph into some New Zealand action and probably some pound action as well. But for the moment, Euro pairs are really on my list, and the Euro dollar is one in particular. The Euro dollar is really interesting right now because it's in this nice big rising wedge. But for whatever reason, I don't think that the euro is going to break out of this rising wedge just yet. We might get a little bit more of a dip, but I don't know that this is going to be that big breakout just yet. What I see the euro doing is dipping down maybe a little bit more. Maybe we get into 112.50, maybe even 11200. If it gets much below 11200, I'm gonna turn bearish on euro dollar. But for the moment, I want to buy dips on euro dollar. I think that we've just got that one last push into about 115.50, maybe even 11600. I'm going to start some long-term short positions up around the 115.50-ish area. I'm just going to start throwing shorts on and riding this euro, probably a little bit higher before it starts to go lower. But right around that 115.50 area, I'd like to start shorting the euro, and I think we're going to get one more dip down before this pushes higher and then just starts to tank. And I think it's going to tank a rank like crazy. I think this thing is going to drop like nobody's business, but it might go a little slow. It might be a little slow on that drop. So for the moment, we're going to focus a little bit on on buying some of these dips. We'll probably get, anytime we test the 200 moving average and so on, things get a little bit interesting. So if we break 11300, there's probably 30, 40, maybe 50 pips to be had on that move down below 11300. And you can probably get some little short-term sell trades in there. It still is a pretty nice rising wedge, and this could be a nice little move down. So I think that's something to keep an eye on. But I'm still very interested in buying dips, and in fact, I'm almost interested in buying this 11300 area. But I'm going to give this a chance and see if this breaks on us a little bit lower. But I'm just definitely wanting to buy the euro dollar and trade it just a little bit higher before we start shorting it. So basically, I want to see the euro dollar get about 200 pips higher than it currently is, and we'll start throwing on sell entries to start shorting this thing back down for probably what will become a 1,000 pip move. If we can get in around 115, I think we can ride this easily back down into the lows of 104, 105 area. So the euro dollar, I think, is going to be a huge trade coming up. But we want to get long with it, and if it ends up rising up higher, then we'll see how that goes, and we might just ride it up higher, along with it. But I'm definitely very interested in that 115.50 area. Anywhere basically between 11500 and 11600 is going to be a good spot to start shorting euro dollar and taking it from there. So that's what I'm looking for. Remember, a little opportunity to sell the break of 11300 if that happens, 30, 40, 50 pips there. Otherwise, let's buy these dips and ride this thing back up a couple hundred pips and then back down maybe 1,000 pips. So it should be a great trade. Pound dollar for the moment for me is just getting a little choppy and a little messy, and I'm going to hold off on this for just a little while. I'm going to have more analysis on the pound dollar later this week, like tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, but I just don't have anything I'm really interested on pound dollar just yet. We had this nice double top up here, and we've got some great support here that seems to be holding, but nothing crazy significant at the moment. So we're going to keep an eye on this pound dollar. We'll see where it goes. We'll see how it plays out, and then kind of take it from there. Going back to euro pairs that I'm super interested in, euro CAD, which I kind of really don't like trading the euro CAD at all, but it's looking good. And I think this euro CAD, along the same lines of, if euro dollar rises, then we should see some euro CAD movements up as well. And I like this 137.50 to 138.100 kind of area. Yeah, Scott. It was nice to meet you, Scott, by the way, at the event over the weekend. Great to meet you. Yeah, EuroCAD is definitely one of those pairs that that some of those other guys really love to trade. And I'm not a big EuroCAD fan, but I'm a big fan of this kind of a setup, and it's really looking good. We're starting to break some trend lines. There's a bit of a channel, kind of a shorter term channel here that's in the works, and this is right at the top of that channel. This is about a 3 or 4 month channel. It's right at the top of that channel, and it also happens to be a very nice inverse head and shoulders pattern. And so this, getting above that, probably our safer area to kind of clear out of this stuff is going to be about 13800. Another 40 or 50 pips higher, and this starts turning into a really fantastic opportunity to really trade this thing up. Remember, the head and shoulders pattern has a potential of going 750 pips, which puts it back into contact with the highs of earlier this year and some of these areas. So it's looking pretty good there. Remember, we have a little arrow on this 15-minute chart on the EuroCAD. Which means that it may give us a little bit of a dip. It might give us a big dip. The numbers aren't massive, but they're pretty decent. We haven't exceeded the maximum pip movement from before. We're about right around half or so. So there's plenty of room for this thing to dip. There's plenty of room for this to give us some of that pullback before it makes a charge above that level, and it may even ultimately dip down 100 pips. That wouldn't be out of the question. Head and shoulders patterns, especially on large time frames, are infamously tricky for really chopping around before they break and move, and so we will be looking at opportunities at possibly buying the dip on this EuroCAD as well, and trading it up through some of this resistance business and targeting some of these monthly and so on upper pivots. If it can't clear 13800, then it may just be a big fail, and it might just be headed straight back down. But I like this. I like this whole price pattern, this whole setup. I think it's pretty rock solid, and I think it's going to give us at least a few hundred pips of movement. Yeah, and that's a nice little area there, Adrian, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to keep an eye on this one. We'll see how this one plays out and how it goes this week. And in conjunction with this one, with EuroCAD, we're going to be watching the dollar CAD. The dollar CAD doesn't have any really major setups on indicators. We have a little light 15-minute chart setup and a 4-hour chart setup. It's trying to work its way up into that 200 moving average. You can see on the larger movement here, it was unable to really clear that 200 moving average on the daily chart. So it came down and really kind of hit against that stuff for a little bit, that 119 kind of 50 zone, and then is breaking trend lines and kind of heading back up. So we're going to be watching this dollar CAD. We're going to be looking at Euro CAD, dollar CAD. We're going to just be seeing how this Canadian dollar fares this week, and I'd still like to short dollar CAD, but it will definitely depend on how things end up going with Euro CAD as well. So if this fails, if we don't get above this 137.50, 138.00 area, then we might end up with a really nice opportunity to short this dollar CAD back down into these lows, and maybe it finally breaks the lows, maybe it doesn't. But we're going to be keeping an eye on Euro CAD, dollar CAD, and Euro dollar really, really closely this week, and we'll be ready for some nice movements there. We've got some pretty great ones in the works, and they're looking super exciting. A lot of the rest of these pairs, I don't have too much on dollar Swiss franc that I'm looking for. Dollar yen, if you're trading the channel on the dollar yen, you're doing pretty good. If you happen to be in a buy on dollar yen, let it run up to about 120. 20 or 30 and get out of it and probably short it back down. I think eventually the dollar yen's going to break out and we're going to have a nice opportunity to get into this long, and I think we're going to reach 123, 12400. I think there's some good opportunity on dollar yen there, but I'm kind of just waiting for it to get out of the channel before I do anything there. And then just a quick little reminder, we're definitely looking at this Aussie New Zealand. We had some big price projection on the daily chart, and we definitely want to look for some opportunities to buy Aussie New Zealand dips. I think we're going to have some great chances there. We've got a little bit of a gap and some things going on, so hopefully that'll drag the Aussie New Zealand down. So that one's kind of coming up. Dollar yen is coming up-ish. Aussie New Zealand's kind of coming up. Some of these other pairs, I'm not doing much on New Zealand dollar yet, and on any of these pound pairs. So really my big focus this week is going to be on Euro dollar, buying some dips on Euro dollar and trading that higher. Hopefully buying some dips on Euro CAD and trading that higher. And then just kind of getting a feel for where this dollar CAD heads to, and looking for some trading opportunities there. And then being totally ready and willing to jump into some of this dollar yen business and trading that one higher. That looks like a pretty fantastic little setup, and that will break out eventually, and we'll have some good trading opportunities there. So that should be very, very good. And Donovan, yeah, let's have a look quickly. I haven't even looked that much at the pound New Zealand that closely yet, but pound New Zealand is looking good. We've got a little bit of 4-hour activity. The 1-hour chart's also looking pretty good with all of those numbers there. So that's a really good point. When we get things that are that far extended, we miraculously end up with some pretty excellent trading opportunities, and we've exceeded some of the previous numbers, and it's been a lot of candles since the last touch. So yeah. Thanks for bringing that one up. We'll definitely, absolutely keep an eye on pound New Zealand, kind of trading this little channel here. If this starts to break below some of this stuff, we could see 150 to 200 pip move down to that 200 moving average. So that'll be on the list for sure. Yeah, good reminder there, Donovan. Absolutely. And then to just polish it all off, I will definitely have a look at gold for you, and I have been watching gold, and I'm just not super in love with it on any front just yet. Gold, I still am of the opinion, we had a nice little move up on gold here, and it had nice little structures and nice little price patterns, and then it's just kind of turning into craziness. So I don't really have any big opinion on gold yet. It seems to be holding these lows, and it doesn't want to get much below that 11, those lows of 1130. But it's just so sideways the last year and a half that I would just be really careful on something like this. There's not much trend to work with, and there's no really super obvious price patterns right this moment. So yeah, I would say be careful, stay away from gold for the moment, and we'll keep an eye on it. We'll see where this goes, and take it from there. So thanks a bunch, everybody. Questions, comments, let me know. I'm going to get all this stuff posted a little bit later on. I just barely walked in the door, so I'm going to go see how my family has been while I've been gone for the last 4 days. But very, very excellent to see you guys. Very great to see everybody, and it was super awesome to meet so many people at the Traders Conference over the weekend. That was super fun. And if you guys have any questions or comments, send them over, and I will kind of answer things as I get back, and I'll answer them on on Twitter, and I'll send out some charts, and I'll do some of that stuff. So super great to see you guys. Super great to meet everyone. Have a wonderful day. Great seeing all of you. And this recording and some charts will be posted in just a couple of minutes. Thanks, guys. Take care, everybody.